Howdy folks, it's Meandering Mike in the man cave of madness. It is after midnight and we are doing an unboxing of a game called Tinderblox. Tinderblox, yes. Alright, let's bring it in here. Someone mentioned on a previous video, some games are smaller than others, and as you can see, this game easily fits in the palm of one hand. It's in a tin. Looks like it has some cards in it and some blocks. Let's open it up and see what this guy has in store for us. And as usual, handy dandy unboxer tool, an oyster shucker. I've already pre-slit some of the shrink to make it easy for us. All right, there we go. Gonna tilt this down. Yeah, it is a little, let's zoom in here and we can get the whole thing in there. It's so tiny. All right, so looking at the back, play with fire. This campfire building competition. The bigger the campfire gets, the less stable it becomes. Can you handle the heat? Draw card. Use the tweezers to grab kindling. Build up the fire, but don't get burnt. Over 30,000 copies sold. Tanner Rob Sparks from Alley Cat Games. All right. So yeah, this is not the normal stuff that we look at the channel, but you know, sometimes you want a quick little game, a family game, something to play with your kids. Maybe this is just something easy. You know, some people like Jenga. Well, this is kind of like that. Just a little thematic campfire Tinderblocks thing. All right, 23 Tinderblocks cards. 1 campfire card. 20 logs, fire cubes of yellow and red, and a pair of tweezers. So yeah, this is it, guys. This is the rules. This little tiny 2 folds, 3 pages. That's about what 2 by 3 inches, something like that. 1 3/4 by I don't know, very small. All right, so winning the game, final player remaining after everyone else has been eliminated wins. So you just gotta, you become the best camper. If you can keep building and other people fail. So kind of like that game, like Operation, where you have to remove the organs or bones from the dude's body, and if you just touch the side, you know. Reveal a card, turn over the top card. Shows you how many logs and fire cubes you must add to the campfire using the tweezers. Oh, interesting. If the card shows switch hands icon, hold the tweezers in your non-dominant hand. All right, that adds a little fun. So let's take a look at the components. All right, so my tweezers is white. It's not red. That's totally fine. Yeah, it looks a little different. This one looks a little rounder and narrower. So obviously I figured, I need one that's a little wider. So here's your card. So there's an example. If you draw this one, you need to put a log down and 1 red and 1 yellow fire cube. All right, let's see here. There should be a way for me to easily get in here. Yes, there is. I guess that's 2 different starting patterns for a campfire. You can use the 3 base, looks a little more steady, or the Z. I'm assuming that there's 1 diagonal on top of the other 2. And so you already have a little more 3-dimensionality to it. All right, so here's all your campfire cards. You draw one. So there's an example of the user offhand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's about half. Less, I think there's 23 campfire cards. Something like that. So half the time, or a little less than that, you're going to have to use 23 Tinderblocks cards. Yep. So 11. So 12 main hand, 11 offhand. All right. Some are, oh, interesting. Some are just adding fire. Some are logs and fire. Some are just logs. Now, I do not know the difference between the yellow and the red. Are they different sizes? Is there point scoring involved with that? There might be some rule. Very important. Desiccant package. Keep the moisture out. I don't know, just some of these games get mold sometimes when they're sitting in the storage. So the big logs, the cubes. So, if any pieces fall off the fire, you are limited. So obviously this ends pretty quick. A lot of games are no fun with elimination, but, you know, if you're playing 2 players, bam, you know, when we're in this, you're playing 3 or 4, it's like, it's going to be over soon. Campfire in the middle of the play area. Place either side face up. 3 logs on the campfire, matching the alignment. Shuffle the Tinderblox to build the campfire. Player who most recently went camping goes first. I love those games that say like, oh, whoever owns the game, whoever's youngest, or whoever last visited an island, or whatever. So whoever most recently went camping gets to go first. Reveal a card, build a fire, see the other side of the sheet. Your turn, you pass the tweezers clockwise. So, I'm looking to see if there's anything about the red and the yellowness, or if that's just flavor. Lift the pieces out of the tin. So you store them in the tin, the other dudes. So you have to use the tweezers to lift them out of the tin, place them on top of the other logs or fire cubes right on the fire. Don't place new pieces onto the campfire card itself. So you have to be putting them on other wooden pieces. Oh, goodness. All right. So if there's more than one piece, there's just one piece on the card, you lift it out of the tin and put it directly on the campfire. If there's more than one piece, you must lift your pieces out of the campfire, or excuse me, out of the tinder, or out of the inventory, the unused pieces, and you have to put it to the side, and you have to build what's on the card first, and then you lift that whole thing up with the tweezers and have to place that on top. So that means you got to do a little balancing act. Wow, where did I put the cards? They're in the blind spot beneath the camera here. So like this thing, if you drew this, you'd have to, you know, these would all be in the tin here, and you would pull out one log, put it down on the table, then put a red and a yellow cube on top of the log. Then you'd use your tweezers to like pick up the log on the bottom and get that up and place it on the campfire without anything falling off. Interesting, interesting. Those are on top of each other. Is 3 the most? Yeah, sometimes you're stacking fires right on top of each other. Yeah, it's gonna get crowded in there. Oh my gosh. With your offhand too. You have to do it on end. All right. This is good. This is like better than Jenga. Instead of, you know, pulling things out and seeing when it falls over, you're building this little campfire that's gonna fall over sooner or later. Doing with your main hand, your offhand, and it totally looks like the red. That's just flavor. Now, it doesn't mean that you're having to dig in this place here because you're supposed to be finding those, which that doesn't seem like a real problem because nothing says it. You gotta get them out of here. You'll be getting the right one. If you drop any pieces before you place them onto the campfire, that's okay. Use the tweezer to pick them up again. But if you drop any pieces onto the campfire card or cause any new or existing pieces to fall off the fire, so as you're putting them, as you're building this stuff here, as you're getting them out of the tin, and you're arranging them, and you're building your thing. But when you get over the top of this campfire card, if you drop them onto the card, so because you got to put your pieces on the existing campfire, and if you knock anything off of that campfire, you lose. You lose. Putting pieces that fall off back in the tin, that ends your turn and pass. So if you do knock something off, you might end up making it easier for somebody else. All right, so the yellow and red color appear to have no effect. It's not anything special. It's just nice red and yellow color of the flames. All right, so that's Tinderblox. 3 to 15 minutes, it says. That's a quick game for 2 to 6 players, ages 6 plus. 6 to 666. Yeah, anyone can play it. 3 to 15 minutes. Obviously, you can play it multiple times relatively fast. Alley Cat games. All right. I can't remember this. This is pretty cheap. So it looks like fun. Anyway, so that's Meandering Mike, Man Cave of Madness, blocks, Tinderblox, cards, bits, pieces, tweezers, all you grognards out there, grognards, you could use these for your big stacks playing OCS. Some of you have no idea what I'm talking about, and others use you, oh yeah, right, sure, you're gonna use that. These might be better than other ones. These little tiny tweezers, plastic, a little easier to control, maybe it flexes, look at that. You can grab the side of those counters. Think about it, of course, for reach, it's not that great, but who knows. So, that's it, folks. Meandering Mike, Man Cave of Madness. It's hitting 12 minutes here. This was a special unboxing dedicated to Christopher Prest, also known as Nanguea, since he commented on the size of one of my other unboxings. Yes, this one is much smaller. Look at how tiny that is. And I had zoomed this whole thing in 2 times zoom. All right, folks. Take care out there. Stay safe when you're making your campfires. Observe the fire safety laws. And ciao.